Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the card game Thieves. It's appropriate for ages 8 and up, supports 3 to 6 players, and has a play time of about 20 minutes. So the idea of this game is pretty simple. Each player is a thief, and they're trying to accumulate as much wealth as possible without being caught by the police. And the player with the most wealth at the end of the game will win. Now, just a quick aside about the player count. I do believe that you can get away with playing with only 2 players, but in my opinion, the more players you have, the better. As far as your components go, you've got a bunch of cards. I'll show you what they all do in a little bit. You've also got these gems. Now, you only need to use these gems if you plan on playing more than one game. Basically, the winner of one game will receive 1 gem, and whoever gets 2 gems will win the game as a whole. You've also got this instruction book here. It's pretty short. It's about 7 pages, as you can see here. And here's a quick look at the box insert. And you've also got these reference cards. Each player gets one of these as well. Okay, so in order to set up the game, basically you're going to shuffle the deck of cards, and each player receives 3 cards to form their starting hand. Now, there is a card in the deck called a getaway card, and after 7 of these appear, then the game ends. So anytime a getaway card is drawn, you're going to play it immediately, even in the cards that you get whenever you first start the game, and you're going to put it next to the deck like that, or wherever you feel is appropriate, so as long as it's somewhere in the middle of the table. And then you're going to draw a replacement card to replace that, like so. And again, anytime you pick up a card from the deck and it's a getaway card, you're going to put it in the center of the table immediately and draw a replacement. These getaway cards sort of act as your time limit, so to speak. So everyone's going to have 3 cards at the beginning of the game. Okay, so the game is played over a series of turns, and each turn has 2 phases. The first phase on a player's turn is just to simply draw up to 4 cards. So let's say that this player is going to go first. He's going to draw a card from the deck, and then he's going to take a look at his hand and proceed to phase 2. In phase 2, you're going to play 1 card. You can either play a card to your own stash, and you'd play that face down if you were going to play it to your own stash, or you can play it face up to someone else's stash. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, whenever there are enough cops on the table, you can play these well, actually, let me show you the different cards now. There are a number of different cards in the game, okay? And you've got these loot cards valued at 0, 1, 2, or 3, and these are the cards that you can add to a player's stash or your own stash if you want to. You've got these rings here, these diamond rings. These are worth 3 points during the game and 1 at the end of the game, whereas this horseshoe is worth 1 point during the game but 3 points at the end of the game. And there's a strategy behind these 2 cards, and I'll get to that in a minute. You've also got these cop cards, and you'll see either 1 or 2 helmets here, and that tells you their value. And whenever there are 4 or more cops on the table that have been played at any point in the game, then players will take a look at their stash, and whoever has the highest valued stash will lose all of their cards in their stash. So you sometimes may want to play high valued cards into your opponent's stash if a quote-unquote raid is about to happen. Again, a raid is when there are 4 or more policemen out on the table. Again, there's 2 here, so if I were to play this card, that'd be 2, and then at some point later on in the game, if 2 more cards get added, or 1 card gets added that adds 2 more cops, then a raid would occur, and then whoever has the highest stash would lose all their cards. So there's that. You've also got this siren card. That tells everybody in the game to immediately play any cop cards that they have in their hand. It's a must. You have to play it. So again, you could stack someone else's stash with some high value cards and then, play a siren on a future turn and then force them to lose their stash because, they would have a lot of high valued stuff in their stash. And then there's also some cards in here that have special abilities. I didn't take them all out of the deck, but here's just a few samples. Playing this card will allow you to move a loot card from one stash to another. This one will get rid of all of the cop cards on the table, and this is another one of those getaway cards. Again, whenever you deal this, or whenever you pick this up, you're going to play it immediately and take a replacement. So So just to quickly recap what you do on your turn, again, you're going to draw up to 4 cards, and then you're going to play one. So let's say I wanted to play one to my own stash, and here's one valued at 3. So I'm going to put that face down from my own stash, and that would end my turn. And now this player goes, and you're going to go clockwise. So this player draws a card, takes a look at their hand. Okay, this one's valued 1, 1, 1, and 2. So he's going to go ahead and... I don't know, he's going to add 1 to his stash like that. And that ends his turn. And this player's going to go. He's going to draw a card, up to 4 cards. Alright, now one thing I should have done is, at the beginning of the game, whenever I dealt these getaway cards, they should have been replaced. I wasn't paying attention. So let's just do that real quick now. Okay, so here we go. So there's 3 getaway cards already out on the table. So the game is nearly halfway over. So he's got this cop card. He's going to go ahead and play this. Whenever you play a cop card, it just goes near the deck. And again, this is only 1 here. There's only 1 helmet. So you need 3 more helmets in order to trigger a raid. So that would end their turn. And then this player is going to go. He's going to draw a card up to 4 cards. And he sees a siren here. Now, he does not want to play the siren card because he knows he played a high-valued card into his own stash, and he sees that the other players, this one only has 1, this one has none. So if a raid were to happen right now, there's a good possibility that he'd lose everything here. So he would not want to trigger this at this point in time. So maybe he sees that cop card. He's going to go ahead and play, maybe he'll play this 2 on somebody else. He's going to play this 2 face up here. That way, if a raid does occur, he's hoping that this card, and then whatever this card is higher than his card here, and he'll be safe. So there's different strategies in this game. And getting back to that whole ring and horseshoe idea, putting a ring onto somebody is an excellent way of sort of getting them in trouble, because this particular card is worth 3 points during the game and 1 point at the end of the game. So if you play this on somebody now, it's valued at 3. So that 3 is taken into consideration whenever a raid is triggered. However, at the end of the game, when you're counting your stash to see who has the most, this is only worth 1 point. So this is a great, safe way. This is like a really dangerous card to have during the game in your stash, because it's not worth anything at the end, but it goes toward the raid in a big way. Whereas the horseshoe, for example, you want to have as many of these as you can in your hand, or in your stash rather, because this is only worth 1 point when a raid is triggered. It's only valued at 1. But at the end of the game, it's worth 3 points. So basically, long story short, you want to try and put rings on other people and horseshoes on yourself if you can. Now, you could put rings on yourself if you want to, but like I said, it's a little dangerous to do that, especially if there's a raid that's about to occur. So this is going to continue until there are 7 getaway cards, and then players are going to reveal their stashes, and then whoever has the most valuable stash will win the game. Okay, so there you have it, a quick look at the card game Thieves. It's important to stress that I did not cover all of the rules found in the manual, but this should just give you the general idea. As far as what I thought, I think this is a pretty fun game. It's light, it's casual, it can be played in about 20 minutes, so it's an excellent filler, and it supports up to 6 players, so it could also be a great family game as well. The artwork is good, and the price is right. I believe it's $10 on the official website, so definitely go check this one out, because it's a lot of fun. My favorite part, really, is the mind games that go along with this game, because again, you're trying to accumulate as much wealth as possible, but not be so greedy in the beginning of the game. Because if you're greedy in the beginning of the game, there's going to be a raid at some point, and you're going to lose all your stuff. So the idea is to be greedy, but not as greedy as the person beside you. So it's an interesting timing kind of game, because when you get toward the middle game and you see like 5 getaway cards, you might go, okay, so should I start stacking my stash now, or should I wait for 6 getaway cards? Is there going to be another raid before that 7th getaway card shows up? I don't know. So it's sort of like a push your luck / mind game kind of card game. It's a lot of fun. Again, $10, excellent value for what you're getting here. Go check it out. If you guys want to see my written review, you can. www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can keep up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.